Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king and reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah. She was from Libnah. Zedekiah did what was evil in the Lord's sight, just as Jehoiakim had done. Because of the Lord's anger, it came to the point in Jerusalem and Judah that he finally banished them from his presence. Nevertheless, Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. In the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon advanced against Jerusalem with his entire army. They laid siege to the city and built a siege wall around it. The city was under siege until King Zedekiah's 11th year. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that the people of the land had no food. Then the city was broken into, and all the warriors fled. They left the city by night by way of the gate between the two walls near the king's garden. Though the Chaldeans surrounded the city, they made their way along the route of the Arabah. The Chaldean army pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. Zedekiah's entire army was scattered from him. The Chaldeans seized the king and brought him to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he passed sentence on him. At Riblah, the king of Babylon slaughtered Zedekiah's sons before his eyes, and also slaughtered the Judean commanders. Then he blinded Zedekiah and bound him with bronze chains. The king of Babylon brought Zedekiah to Babylon, where he kept him in custody until his dying day. On the 10th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, entered Jerusalem as the representative of the king of Babylon. He burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the nobles. The whole Chaldean army, with the commander of the guards, tore down all the walls surrounding Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, deported some of the poorest of the people, as well as the rest of the people who were left in the city, the deserters who had defected to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the craftsmen. But some of the poorest people of the land, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, left to be vine dressers and farmers. Now the Chaldeans broke into pieces the bronze pillars for the Lord's temple, and the water carts and the bronze reservoir that were in the Lord's temple, and carried all the bronze to Babylon. They took the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling basins, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. The commander of the guards took away the bowls, fire pans, sprinkling basins, pots, lampstands, pans, and drink offering bowls, whatever was gold or silver. As for the 2 pillars, the 1 reservoir, and the 12 bowls under the water carts that King Solomon had made for the Lord's temple, the weight of the bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. 1 pillar was 27 feet tall, had a circumference of 18 feet, was hollow, 4 fingers thick, and had a bronze capital on top of it. 1 capital, circled by bronze latticework, and the pomegranate stood 7.5 feet tall. The 2nd pillar was the same, with pomegranates. Each capital had 96 pomegranates all around it. All the pomegranates around the latticework numbered 100. The commander of the guards also took away Sariah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the priest of the 2nd rank, and the 3 doorkeepers. From the city he took a court official who had been appointed over the warriors, 7 trusted royal aides found in the city, the secretary of the commander of the army who enlisted the people of the land for military duty, and 60 men from the common people who were found within the city. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. The king of Babylon put them to death at Riblah, and in the land of Hamath. So Judah went into exile from its land. These are the people Nebuchadnezzar deported. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In his 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In Nebuchadnezzar's 23rd year, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, deported 745 Jews. Altogether, 4,600 people were deported. On the 25th day of the 12th month of the 37th year of the exile of Judah's king, Jehoiachin, Evil-Merodach, king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, pardoned King Jehoiachin of Judah and released him from prison. He spoke kindly to him and set his throne above the thrones of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin changed his prison clothes, and he died regularly in the presence of the king of Babylon for the rest of his life. As for his allowance, a regular allowance was given to him by the king of Babylon, a portion for each day until the day of his death, for the rest of his life.